Welcome to the Genius Talk podcast. I am your host Atul Raj from the bestemailmarketer.com, and today we have Yousef Benhamida with us. Brother, I think I pronounced your name wrong.
That's close enough.
Okay, so if any of you who don't know him, he's the founder and CEO of HS Supplies, one of the fastest growing nutrition brand in the US and now generating multi-millions dollar annual revenue across Amazon, Shopify, and wholesale. So Yosef, welcome, brother.
Nice to be here.
Awesome. So we are curious, like how did you build one of the fastest growing nutrition brand in the US?
Well, you got to be able to make the product, make a lot of it, and you got to be able to sell it quick. And then repeat the cycle, make more, sell more, and basically not have the whole thing crumble while you're doing all that. It's like building a bridge. You build the bridge, you get a lot of cars drive over it, pay you money, make sure the bridge doesn't collapse. It's pretty similar, I'll be honest.
Okay. So can you walk us through the key strategies or milestone that fueled this rapid growth?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's really about just being able to spend money and get the money to come back to you. You know, there's all these ways to spend money. You can spend money on marketing. You put $1 in, does the dollar come back? And how fast does it come back? So you test all these ways and see if it works, right? Try all these angles. And then when you find something that works, then you push way more in. So it's like rapid testing, finding out, getting around people who have done like large amounts of volumes of sales, whether it's even in your industry, and taking a lot of knowledge from all of them and things that have worked. Now, things are always changing, right? So it's like, okay, but some things don't really change. Like some frameworks of sales don't change. So you basically take winning strategies and formulas, and sometimes you stumble upon things on your own and you go all in. But you have to have the product, you have to have the foundation. The bridge has to be built strong enough and big enough to maintain that sales velocity. The bridge has to be strong enough to where that many cars can drive over it, or else the bridge is going to crumble. That's why a lot of businesses go out of business. Some businesses will go crazy up and then they just go bankrupt. They grow too fast. Yeah, you just got to maintain it all while figuring it out.
Okay, so is there any personal behavior that made this success possible for you?
Like survival, just general survival, grit. It's like running a very, very long marathon. Yeah, it's like girls ask me a lot of time, oh, they want to start their own business. I'm like, well, you ever run a marathon? They go, yeah, I run a marathon. I'm like, great. Run a marathon, like it's not a 26-mile marathon. It's like 100,000-mile marathon. And you run it for years and years and years on end, and you wake up not feeling good every day. So just sort of getting accustomed to the normality of things not really going right. Like I don't always have all the answers. I try to get all the answers. So yeah, like it's like a daily, I got to figure this out. And most people are doing the same thing.
Did you face any big failure early on when you started your company?
I mean, yeah. It's not all the items that I've come out with have worked. Not all the people I've hired have worked. I've blown plenty of money, I've personally blown, I've lost in the millions of dollars. I don't know if it's one or two, but I've definitely, spent $1 million or plus. I don't know if it's 2 million or 3 million in doing the wrong things, bleeding time. So not only was I wasting money, but I was wasting time too. So I try to talk to people who have hopefully been in the same predicament or what I'm trying to do, and they've done it before, to save me bleeding time and money again. I've done dude, I once bought a filling line for $60,000 from China because I thought I was being smart and it was going to be cheap and I was going to save money because the same line would be like, I don't know, 500 grand or something in the US, but it didn't work. It didn't work. It ended up costing me money in like a year of time. And it was such a headache. And it's because I didn't want to spend the 400, 500 grand on the real filling line. So now I own a full, complete filling line, and that's about how much it cost me. But guess what? It works. So yeah, that's just like one thing where I lost who knows how much time and how much money because I wanted to go cheap. Usually going cheap doesn't help. Usually going cheap doesn't usually work typically.
So your company, HS, so Is there any specific story behind how you got started?
Yeah, I mean, I used to grow. I used to be like a grower, I grew plants, and so I just made one product. I just made one item, called it Humboldt's Secret Golden Tree, and then I made more items, and then I just go, okay, well, I guess the company's called Humboldt Secret, and then I came out with more. I'm like, well, let's change the name to Humboldt Secret Supplies. Let's go HS Supplies for short. So yeah, weirdly enough, the Humboldt name actually comes. I guess it comes from this guy called Alexander von Humboldt, who has to deal with like nature, like his whole. He was pretty much trying to figure out like the reason why how nature comes together. And long story short, that's a bit about plants. He was highly integrated in nature and plants, and it's pretty similar to what my company is about. And that happened honestly by accident. So at least that's the origination of the name, how it came to be.
That's a really good story. How that name come up. Okay, so, looking back when you started, what's one lesson you would tell yourself if you could restart today?
Yeah, I wrote a book, and I would just say read my book. That's why I wrote it, for that one reason. It has tons of information, a lot of mistakes I made. So if I could just hand something to myself, I would just say, hey, read my book. That'll save you from a lot of mistakes.
Okay, and so for our listeners who want to get that book, where can they go?
Yeah. They go on Amazon. Yeah.
And what's the book name?
Yeah. So it's called $1 million Hot Girls in a Ferrari.
From
Basically it's about all the temptations that will steer you off course, because all guys
yeah.
want it. What guy that doesn't have $1 million wouldn't take the $1 million? What guy that doesn't have a hot girl would take a hot girl? What guy that has no car wouldn't take a Ferrari, right? It's like, oh yeah, give me all three. So it's a
Okay.
story of basically how I went, you know, details a lot of the stuff that guys want.
How you
So
get all of those?
the what?
How you get all of those things?
Yeah, how you get all of it, what's it all about? So I feel like it's a decent story.
Okay. So while writing your book, what's one thing that you never thought, that never occurred to you, but you are doing? Does that make sense?
One thought, well, like you mean I never expect to be doing what I'm doing?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I mean I never expected to be doing a lot of things I'm doing ever. Like I'm in my warehouse and I just see through all the pallet rackings and I see this long filling line and all these containers and all these pallets filled with stuff, and I see this line vision of it all, and I'm like, how did I even get here? And I just think like I just made one bottle in my bathroom. I wanted a filling line like 10 years ago or even longer, but it took obviously a lot longer to get it. I mean, I was at the Walmart headquarters, I was invited out to the Walmart headquarters in Bentonville this year. So I went, I've met with like sourcing and merchants. So I'm kind of, I never thought I wasn't even ever looking or even thinking about Walmart. Like I never even thought about it. It just kind of popped out, and then, I met them somewhere, and I never was looking for that. I never expected ever to be at the Walmart headquarters talking to their team, and, going basically learning how everything works. I never expected that. So there's just a lot of things I have not expected. I never expected to be doing this interview on here. I never expected to have this nice place that I have in San Diego. I always wanted like a new car. I mean, I got, a lot of the things I never expected I was gonna get. I always wanted it, and sometimes it just came like, when I was least expecting it. So I would
Okay.
say
So yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
the majority of the stuff I did not think I was going to be doing.
So which make you more surprised?
What do you mean? What am I most surprised that I'm not expecting that I'm doing?
Yep.
I would just say it's like even. I never thought I would write a book. Yeah, people were saying write a book a long time ago. I didn't think I would be doing a lot of this stuff, dude. I just get these ideas that pop in my head, or whatever, ether or universe talks to me in my head, and I think, oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. And as long as I don't like throw my life away through like drugs and alcohol, I have the energy to do it. You know what I'm
I just
saying?
do it.
I have the
Yeah.
energy to do this stuff. If I go and drink a bunch of booze, which I've done in the past through time periods, things don't go so well. So I got all this energy. I like, what else am I going to do? Okay, I'll do that. That sounds fun and exciting. So I just kind of go into the abyss, the unknown, and I don't know what's going to happen. But obviously, I'm thinking in my head, but I kind of want, nice chunk of money, some freedom, want to keep my health. So like I said, I don't exactly know how I'm going to get to where I'm going, but I'm willing to do new things and whatever it takes. So when you're willing to do whatever it takes to get there, when you're like, oh shoot, I there's something that this thing I want, and I got it. I want it really bad. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there. You end up doing a lot of weird things to get there. That's why it's like, well, I never expected I was going to be doing all this because this is what I have to do to get that. A life, that vision, that life you want to be in. Yeah.
Okay, so you are an athlete. So does that impact your approach to business?
I mean, it makes things easier. Like when you're super physically fit, it makes things a lot easier. Like things kind of, it's like water on oil. Like, the water will just like drip off. But like if you're not in like good shape and you're not like super strong mentally, because we're, being an athlete, it's like it's more hard mentally than physically because you got to make yourself do all this like stuff that hurts. And so, yeah, you just kind of have like a lot things would just kind of like the water will just hit you and like fly off. It won't stick. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be like a shield, okay? When something hit, some attack, it'll just, it doesn't harm us that much.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't harm you as much. Not as fragile.
Yeah. Okay, so for our listeners who want to connect with you, where can they go?
And they could Google my name. I got a website, LinkedIn. I get some random DMs on Instagram sometimes. I mean, I'm on all the platforms, but I mean, I check my DM sometimes. Sometimes my LinkedIn. You can go to my website and submit a message. So
Okay, so with all the success you have, what's the craziest thing have you done till now?
what's the craziest thing I've ever done?
Yep.
The craziest thing I've ever done. I've done too many. It's all crazy. I feel like it's all crazy. I feel like what I'm doing right now is crazy. Like I'm building like what you're trying to do currently because I already know what I've done, right? You build. It's like, well, I've already done this, I've already done that, I've already done that. Well, I haven't been thinking big enough. Well, let's think a little bit bigger. So what I'm putting together now, and I won't say what I'm putting together now because it's better to just do it and show people. But what I did before seemed crazy at the time, but now it doesn't seem as crazy. Now, obviously, there's things you do. Like, oh, I did that. Well, I won't do that again. I know I'm not as thrilled to do that. But then you're like, oh wow, let's do something so big. It's global big. It's national big. Like, where you do it, and you're just like, people will notice. You have to do things that you think are so big that it gives you goosebumps, or it makes you think like, whoa, like your hair starts sticking up and you start getting that feeling of like like you can sense how big it is. uh, and sometimes it doesn't work out and you learn, and then you try another angle. So I would say what I'm currently doing, that's the drug, that's the adventure. So a lot of people like booze up and drug up uh because they're trying to get that stimulation, right? But really going after that big thing, that new big plan, that is the stimulation of the adventure. So it's just basically moving more units globally, more advertising, just becoming like a bigger company.
Brother, thank you so much for spending some time with us, and it was really fun chatting with you.
Did I answer all the questions?
Yes, sir.
Got no more?
I will create question from the the year for you. Okay, so you know what? You just gave me goosebumps a couple minutes ago because I was thinking small. Okay, so
Yeah, the thing about thinking small is that I don't know how old are you by chance?
I'm 26, approx 27.
Yeah, so 26, 27. So here's the reason why it changes, because we're running out of time. 27, you're thinking, oh, 30, right? I remember the 30. Oh man, 30 is a big number, right? Well, once you start getting, I'm 38, and now you're like, oh shoot, I'm really running out of time. Like I'm running out of time. You start running out of time. And so you start thinking, I literally don't have time to try anything else that's smaller because I already tried the thing that was smaller and it took so long and it actually did work, but it took a very long amount of time. So you're like, well, I got to think 100 times bigger. It's literally, you have to think 100 times bigger. And it's like, how am I going to do this? It's like 100 times bigger. But then you start thinking about it because you're running out of time. We're dead. You're dead in 60 years, 70 if you're lucky. 60, you're probably lucky too. Like you're running, you have no time. The clock's ticking.
Yeah.
It takes 10, it takes a crazy amount of time to make all this stuff happen. So I was like, well, we better go 100 times bigger. Anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I was running my email marketing company, but I'm shutting that down because I know that I cannot able to scale it to a very high level because it's service based, and I have to take care of the quality. So I'm thinking about going into product based business.
Product-based business. Yeah. A physical goods business.
I haven't thought about that. I'm thinking about
No, no.
some kind of informational business.
Yeah. Well, whatever you do, you got to think 100 times bigger. I mean,
Okay.
obviously it's hard to get there, but like the end result, like, okay, I had an end result goal
Mhm.
and it happened. And I'm like, wow, how did this happen? It's crazy. It happened. And I'm like, but it took a hell of a long time. It's like, well, it wasn't big enough though. So it's like, I don't have too many more of these times. How many more times do we have for the amount of time? It's like, what we got? Let's say it takes a decade, hypothetically. Maybe,
Mhm.
if you're lucky, maybe it takes less. You got 5 chances, maybe 4, and then you'll be maybe 7. What are you going to be 70 when you're still going 80? Maybe, I don't know. How's the health? So I was like, well, you only got a few more rolls of the dice. You got your 40s, you got your 30s, your 40s, the 50s. Yeah, you could be going in your 60s, 70s. You only got like 5 tries,
Yeah.
so you gotta roll the dice big. There's no choice. So
Yep.
that's what happens as you start aging. The days fly faster. So maybe this is a shock to your system.
Yeah, it
And
is.
And what you want to do too is you want to do whatever it takes to get the knowledge from the people who have done it 100 times bigger. You'll be in positions and you won't know what to do, but you can tell them your positions and you'll get their perspective and it will change everything. Because what you think is like your reality is a different reality for them. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yep. Right now I'm working on couple strategies. Okay, and I don't want to sleep at night until I get things done. So what's your thought on that? Like, should I wake up until the things is done, or should I go to bed, sleep, and think about that tomorrow?
I don't know. I'd probably just think about how to do whatever you're doing 100 times bigger than you're doing it right now. And then things will unfold for you. Things will unfold slowly, usually. But you have to first think, how am I gonna do this? Like if you're building the bridge, right? The bridge. If it's a bridge that holds 100 cars, then you build the bridge over. It needs the foundation, how much land, whatever. I mean, long story short. But if you're thinking way bigger, it's like, well, I need a lot more land. Oh, basically the thought process of like the entire end result changes the beginning to an extent. So you have to think about it long and hard. So it's all in the mind. It's like it's all in the mind. It's like this mind battlefield. It's not out there. It's here. So I mean, what's the difference between you and me and Mark Zuckerberg? Realistically, it's his mind.
Yeah,
If you gave me his mind, my life, yeah, yeah. If we switched minds, maybe I could maintain what he's doing, but like he could probably pull off some stuff all over again. So it's really the mind.
yeah. Right now I'm thinking of getting your mind.
Getting my mind, I mean, dude, honestly, there's a lot better minds than me. I mean, they might not be in as good a shape. They might not have I have, we all have things that like other people don't have. Like people have like way more money or way bigger company, but their health ain't that good, So, or their relationships with women ain't that great, or whatever it is, or they're not a pleasant person. So there's certainly better. I'm not. I am not. There's but you can pick like certain aspects of certain people. Oh, I like what this person does. Like, what's his routine with that? How do you get that? What's his routine with that? How do you get that? You pick different, you pick just aspects of people, and then you take 4 people and you put them all together. You're like, oh, well, I grabbed the 4 things about of all these people, Like you want to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you don't want to get with the maid, and ruin his relationship, which caused him like catastrophic results with his wife relationship. It's miserable. Like he said, it was the biggest mistake of his entire life because he couldn't control banging the maid, right? So it's like, you pick certain aspects of, well, that guy did that one thing that really messed his life up. He really isn't paid from that for a long time. He probably should have done that one thing.
But when you're building a business, are you dating?
Well, here's the thing.
Mhm.
What kind of caliber of girl do you want? Like there's different levels of girl. Like you can, like okay, what's the you have to ask yourself, what's the purpose of dating a girl, right? Have you dated enough girls that you know the end result? What do
Yeah,
you
I
want?
know.
Sex? Is it literally? Are you trying to get like a family and take care of this girl, or do you just want sex? Because if you just want sex, you got to, prostitution in like other countries, or I don't know where you live, but there's places, prostitution's a lot easier, legal prostitution.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people are dating. It's like, well, what do you actually know the purpose of why you're spending your time doing all that? Because you'll learn a lot doing that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is people waste their time. Like, what is their purpose of doing it? Because the end result is you're going to be probably taking care of a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is
Mm.
a big financial burden
Exactly.
and time burden. Yeah, yeah. And depending on the caliber of girl you want, she's probably going to be offered a lifestyle from the world. Like people are already offering her a lot. Like depending on how attractive, how in demand a woman is, they're already getting a large variety of offers from the world. Like it's happening. Like, so what do you have to offer a girl? Because essentially they're thinking, well, I need a man who's going to basically impregnate me and be able to take care of me while that's happening and, support the whole family and all this stuff. So that's obviously going to probably require resources, food and shelter to protect this, you know, I'm not going to say like I'm, obviously I have a decade more of dating. I've definitely, seen plenty of women, and I will say that, they, yeah, it's what do you have to offer them?
Okay, so what do you think when you talk about money? Okay, how much speed should we focus on? Like
How much what?
suppose someone is starting a business, okay? Then how much they should focus on that in 30 days we should make this much at least, or 60 days we should make this
Yeah.
much at least.
Yeah, I would say it's more about personally me, I would start with would I buy the product? Do I think I think there's a place with it. I wouldn't even think about sales. I would just pick one item and think, will this item work? Will people buy it? Would I buy it? Do I find it useful? Yeah, that's how I originally started my stuff. The one item I made was an item that I would buy as a consumer. I knew the market good enough. And that's why it worked. And then sales is just going to be a part of the marketing effort. So I would try to get the product right. Not like perfect, doesn't need to be perfect, but try to figure out a product that can serve the masses, like a cheeseburger. I mean, realistically, yeah, just like a cheeseburger that tastes good. Make sure the cheeseburger tastes good. Well, now that I know the cheeseburger tastes good, now I have confidence not to give up. Because if the cheeseburger don't taste good, and I don't want to buy it, how am I gonna have confidence to, let's say you go on TV and do a commercial. You know deep down that the cheeseburger doesn't taste good because you cut corners on making it good. But if you can make an In-N-Out burger that's a cheeseburger, like it tastes like In-N-Out, and you're like, oh damn. Well, they got long lines at In-N-Out. I can make it just like them. And people will eat the cheeseburger and they'll love it. Everybody will love it. And so the sales, it's more about keeping your expenses low. You can jump the sales really quickly, but are you losing money acquiring the customers? So it's not about I need to do this amount of sales in this amount of time. It's more like I need to get the product right. I need to keep my expenses low. And then I would start from there. I would move from there. It's a lot more complicated depending on how you're going to sell your item, how you're going to make it available to people to buy. Now you're talking about maybe a digital product. I deal with
Mhm.
physical goods. So let's say I set up everything all good and I got distribution. Well, now I have confidence in the item. Now I'm marketing it. And now let's say I open it up to distribution into thousands and thousands of locations. And now you hit the switch on the marketing and then boom, that's how you skyrocket. But if you hit the switch and you skyrocket and the foundation isn't good, then the whole thing crumbles. That's on physical goods. Digital is a little bit different. You still have a delivery system in digital, though. You're going to have to make sure that your delivery system, all these bugs and kinks, your retargeting, or however you're going to do your digital item. I don't know. I haven't done digital items, but I understand it a little bit in the sense there's still a system to support it.
Mhm.
So you just have to get your item right, build the system right, test the marketing. Then once the marketing plan works, then you hit the switch and then
Okay. First, get the product right, and then focus on marketing.
I would say, you could I mean, some people market an item that doesn't even exist yet just to see if there's demand. There is that route too. That's
Yep.
one way to do it. Personally, have never really done it. I know other people do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways to do it. That's why every situation's different. You want to find somebody who's done the most similar to what you're trying to do with all
Mhm.
these finite details, because the wrong detail could lead you on a path that'll waste a
Yeah.
year of your life and all this money
Like.
and all these wasted nights. If you just took your credit card, maybe
Mhm.
not me particularly, but you got intro.co.
Mhm.
Intro.co, you can just pay somebody, they're expensive. You want to pay somebody who's done like $100 million in sales. It's going to cost you like $2,000 an hour or $1,000 a half hour or 800 or whatever. But you don't have to talk to too many of them. You get like 5 half-hour sessions. You spend like maybe $5,000. You talk to 5 different people who have all done like 100 million or 500 million or whatever. And you talk to them, and they're kind of like your CEOs. They're kind of like your chief of they're kind of like your board of advisors. But you don't have to hire them full time. You just hire them for like half an hour. Hey, I'm trying to figure out this or that. It's a big decision. Usually it's when big decisions happen too. It's like, well, the decision's going to cost me this much. So I'll pay you this much to make sure I don't, go there.
But a couple days ago, not couple days ago, it was day before yesterday. I was thinking about getting some board members on a share on the company before we even started. So, what do you think about that?
Board members, I mean, I don't have any board members, but I mean, hey, if you can reach out to people, you reached out to me. It didn't cost anything, and you get some footage. I would do that if they say yes. But if they don't say yes, then okay, well, I'm running out of time. Well, what's more valuable to me than right now, the money or the time? Well, how fast am I trying to do this? Well, I got time. Well, I guess I'll save my money. Well, I don't got time, so take my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. I mean, no. I mean, you gotta always think it's always the same formula. What's in it for me? FM. I'm gonna use this footage. That's why. So everybody's always what's in it for me. It's what's in it for me. What's in it for me? What's in it for them? What's in it for the girl? What's in it for the girl of your dreams? Which what's in it for the girl of your dreams? You got a girl of your dreams. What's in it for them? She's a customer.
Sorry.
What does she
Yep, yep.
want? It's like analyzing a customer. Like they're making a life decision. The girl is making a life decision. They're literally basically rolling the dice and betting on you to take, to so you got to think they're like a customer too. Well, do I have what they want? What's in it for me? The girl is thinking what's in it for me. The customers are thinking what's in it for me. Everybody's thinking what's in it for me. It's called whiff 'em. If you can
From
figure out what's
what's
in it
in
for
it for
me
me?
and give them what's in it for me, and then you can maybe even sprinkle in a little bit more, that's when you get them, when you sprinkle a little bit more.
Yep.
You got to have a lot
The
of
so-
sprinkles to give it to everybody and sprinkle it all on everybody.
yes, we can.
These
We
people
can.
on intro, look, these people on intro are cheap. if you're having problems also like getting a hold of people who have done precisely what you're trying to do, like precisely, like it's so precise, like, oh, they did exactly what I'm trying to do, that's a rarity, but they won't talk to me. It's like they're cheap. Think about it. Let's say they built a company and they sold it for $100 million. There was so many of these people on intro. It's like, okay, well, how much are they making a year? How much do they really make an hour from how much they have in their investment from all that money and realistically what they could be paid? Their pay is probably, it's pretty high. And so they actually don't even sometimes do it for the money. They do it just because they like helping and talking to people. I can get that sense. I can get the sense that like they don't like, it's not even worth their time to do it. They get value from talking to people who are trying to get where they're trying to get. That's my belief, because I talked to, billionaire that's like way older and retired. He doesn't need the money. He does it because he's really excited. He wants to know. He's trying to socialize. I'm like, he's trying to help me. I'm like, oh shoot, this guy is not doing it for the money. He does not need the $700.
Yep, brother. Huh. That was so much information.
Anything else?
The only thing I need to do is work, 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 and work.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep. First, figure out what they want, then create a product, then give them what they want, and then scale, scale, scale. And yeah, that's the main thing.
Don't drink booze.
Yeah, I don't do anything except I
Yeah.
only drink water. Do you take nootropics?
Not really, no. The what? No, I don't know what that stuff is. You said
Okay,
nootropics.
okay,
Or
okay. Nootropics is simple. It's some kind of drug that help your brain become enhanced.
yeah, I've heard of this stuff. Maybe. I mean, I also know running on the beach and getting sunlight and maybe drinking a little caffeine can also enhance your brain. So, I've tried a lot of stuff to enhance my brain. I would say what doesn't enhance my brain is booze and hardcore drugs. That doesn't help me. And the wrong woman. That don't
Yeah.
help. That doesn't help. So, yeah, there's a lot
Okay.
of stuff that doesn't help.